right, hello everybody. I'm going to give everybody a second to get in here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are live tonight in Southwest Florida. We did just have a premiere go out. Thank you everybody that was watching that premiere as we aired it live, aired it as a premiere. And I hope that I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that some of my ham folks out there are going to do field day this weekend. I'm going to mention this a few times tonight because I think field day is important, and I think that a lot of hams get out of, they just get to the point where they really just don't do it anymore, and it's really a good time to meet up with a different crew or find a different club or do some different things. So I just wanted to put that out there. All right, I've got everything all set up here to where you guys can hear everything. If we get any sound, you'll be able to hear it. Cable output, there we go. We are watching one storm chaser that we have out here in this area. You can see here this area of brown, this brown circle, a heightened area. It's going to be Milwaukee, Madison, and points to the west, north of Des Moines. And this is going to be an area we're going to watch this evening. Again, not a real high warning area, but a warning area nevertheless, so we're going to have to watch it. Actually, it just updated, and they just downgraded. Wow, there you go, right while we're watching. Remember that? Look at that. They just downgraded. The brown circle is gone, and now the green circle has gotten a little bigger. So or the green circle has gotten smaller, I should say. So there you go, guys. While we're watching, they have just downgraded this storm system, and they're not thinking it's going to be quite as severe. But we are going to continue to watch this. We do have this one storm chaser that's racing down the road here, and our storm chaser tonight is Aiden O. WX Project Weather Eye. Aiden O. WX Project Weather Eye. We'll be following him through the evening. I got a couple other cams here. Let's see what they look like. We'll pull some of these up just to fill in this side over here. This one is down here near Kalamazoo, and these storms will be coming up through Kalamazoo here before long. So we'll go ahead and pull up that camera. I'm trying to see if I have anything else in the way here, and I really don't. That's what we have. Yeah, so eventually those big storm clouds you see there in Kalamazoo, and it's going to be a beautiful sunset. Those storm clouds you see in the distance in Kalamazoo, they're heading that way. They're actually heading towards Kalamazoo. They won't get there till after dark, probably. There you go. Let's see what this one looks like. And yeah, there's a good shot from Fort Wayne. I'll put that up, and that's yeah, not Fort Wayne, Texas. Fort Wayne up here in Indiana. Okay, so there we go. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch or warning here in Waukegan and Zion, Round Lake Beach in that area. And that's all north of the Chicago Metro. And so looking there for some severe weather there. But again, I don't have any network cams up there, unfortunately. We're working on being able to provide more cameras too, but right now I got what I got. All right, Upper Center, we're doing a little world tour up there. We're just taking a little peek around, see what's going on around the world, a little rotation. We got the Carlotta Frog Cam up there, and I'm telling you that's not tonight, so I got to go pull that. Excuse me. That's I can tell because it's dark and my wife's out there right now maintaining the area and feeding the cats, and so let me get the right camera up here. There we go. That's live now. That cat there is that's Mama Bleep in the foreground, and that's Onyx in the background, the white and black one, because she looks like a cow. I call her my little cowgirl because she's all like white with black spots like a cow. Anyway, there you go. The frogs will be out momentarily. There's Daddy Kitty, the big orange one. I got lots of cats. They're all rescues, every one of them, every last one of them. All right. So there you go. That's the Carlotta cam. You can check that out at Carlotta Alata. Please give her a subscribe. We're almost to 1,000, and you guys know how important that is when you get on YouTube. You guys know 1,000 is a big deal. All right, so let's see who we got in here. We got Pam from the Sparkle Squad. Hey, Pam. I'm wondering if that's Pam from customer service, and she's just off duty. Let's see here. We got ding, 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 ding. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being in my premiere earlier. Junior, same to you. Evening, thank you. And let's see, JT Land, howdy. Uh-oh, thunderstorm rolling through. Unhook the coax. Sometimes the lightning gets so close before I get to the coax that I leave it hooked up, because I figure if I'm holding on to that coax when it hits, I'm a dead man. So I just, every now and then, I figure, you know, look at all the cats out there, dude. I mean, I got lots of cats. Some people were raising Siamese cats, and they moved out and left a bunch of them, so we ended up with 2 or 3 of those. Like I said, they're all rescues that showed up, and we start feeding them. That's Daddy, the orange one. He showed up here with a broken leg. He's had a great life here now. He helps us raise the little ones when we have to bottle feed them. No, the orange one's not pregnant. He just got a belly on him, that's all. We feed our cats very well. She's feeding them wet food right now. Look at that. She's literally feeding them. That is a feral baby kitty there that we're working on. We're working on getting to where we can touch her. The one on the left there. Anyway, yeah, so there you go. That's what's going on in my life. The lower right, we've got a protest in New York. That's the only protest I could find. But it is active. I believe it's live. I was watching the sky turn purple and then finally dark right at the same time mine was. And that should be about what happened. So I'm pretty sure that it's live. It's funny. I've got to be a detective here to try to figure out. I got to try to, you know, use my detective skills to figure out if these things are live or not. The amount of spoof videos on YouTube, it seems like it has hit an all-time high. It's just absolutely crazy. Anyway, center middle on the right there is the Middle East. And the same thing with the Middle East. What we basically have there is I've got some cameras there that are just a composite screen that I'm getting. Let me go ahead and change that to where it matches everything. There we go. All right, and so there we go. So that's what's going on. Babe, we were watching the feeding process here. We're watching all the cats out there.
Yeah, old Miss LC over here in the green bowl on the bottom left. Yeah, she just turned around and looked, see what the she didn't even get out. She's a big girl. I need to get my hands on her. She's big and big.
My wife likes to grab the big frogs and then hold them up so we can see them. They're just literally huge. Yeah, you guys watch out. There's these sites, NewsX, Crutch, and I don't care. I'm calling them out. First Post, Money Control is a big one. Money Control, News 9 Live, and the Daily Guardian. Those are all websites that have up old videos, and they just loop an old video, but they lie to you and tell you it's a new video, and it aggravates me. So I'm going to call them out on it. You know, I mean, I'm just going to call them out on it. That's what it is. I just did. I called them out. Times Now is another one. You know, there's a lot of people on here like me that are trying to composite up live stuff, and those people are doing fine. It's these people. Here's a good example. The Daily Guardian. It says Chicago protest live. Protesters live. ICE protest. Officials clash outside Chicago court. Tensions explode. Chicago protest live. I mean, it says live over and over and over again. Guess what? It's that video from 2 weeks ago where those Chicago cops that did not have uniforms on tackled those protesters outside the ICE thing there. And the one protester had all the fake black hair. Remember that video? I know you've all seen that video.
Pam's in there.
Well, guess what? There you go. Yeah, I said hi to Pam. What's up, Pam? She's off duty tonight, though, so no customer service.
Pam from Sparkles Lives. Yeah, I like that. Cute.
So, yeah, there you go. There's that video. Literally, they're showing it as live, purporting it as being live, telling you it's live, sending it out as live, and it's 2 weeks old. It's bullshit. There hasn't been people arrested and beaten down in Chicago in 2 weeks. And it really bugs me because people around the world get their news from YouTube. And they're all seeing them. Man, they've been protesting every day for 3 weeks. No, we haven't. The protesting's all over with pretty much. Every now and then we get a dust up. The weekend's coming. I expect some protesting. New York, L.A., and Portland. Chicago, probably. Maybe Baltimore. Over the weekend. But I don't think it's going to be anything big. But to just come out and play the same looping video of a riot in my country over and over and over again pisses me off. Yeah, hey, Pam. Let's see. Brandon, thanks for coming back. Billy McAllen, thank you for being here. Brandon, let's see. Ding, ding, ding. I think I got everybody. Yep, thanks, Ding Ding. I appreciate that. The frogs all fled. They will come right back. She's out there servicing it right now, and the cats are all eating. But those frogs, they're all literally sitting right under the bushes right there waiting. And within 10 minutes, you'll see there'll be 10 of them back out there. We don't know how many frogs there are in the yard, but they're all too big to get out of the fence. So we're pretty sure they all stay in the yard. They live, I think, we've got a Florida home. It's off the ground. And I think they live under the house and under the studio here. They're both raised up, and I think they live under there during the day, and they come out. Sometimes we even see them in broad daylight. They just come walking out, and bing, bang, boom, there they are. It's kind of cool. We never know when we're going to see them. Oh, here we go. We've got some storms going on down in Washington. Let's take a look here. Do we got any cams I can pull up? I don't know why there's such a discrepancy here, or a disparity, I should say, in cameras. If you notice, the network is centered down here. Look, in Nashville, there's cameras everywhere. All down here in the southeast. And there's Ryan Hall, y'all's house. He's always got a beautiful view of the mountains. But it's like, I don't get why... once you get away from there, there's no cameras on the network at all up here. Maybe it started out as a regional thing. I don't know. But anyway, as you can see, we've got lots of storms here outside of Pittsburgh. And these storms are all moving from west to east. Well, that's weird. They're moving northwest to southeast, it looks like, mostly. All right, and we got the cams. We're going to watch those. We've got this protest we're watching, but I think it's looped because now suddenly it's bright daylight again. No way, it's not. That was a white wall. Nope, I think we're still live there in New York. I'm going to leave that there. I think we're still live. I'm going down through the news stations now to see if anybody has anything up. Most of these news stations just have generic keywords on their video. So they all, when you put in unrest, protest, riot, manhunt, when you put in any of these words, you just get this generic list of all these news sites that are like clickbait, and a lot of them are just regular news sites that are broadcasting their news, but they put those keywords in everything. It's some things are oversaturated with keywords, and it makes it hard to find real things within it. Boom, I just got another one here. Oh, let me get this into place here. I believe this to be in New York. It says Iran protest, and it looks like it's in New York, but I cannot confirm. So let's pull this up here. All right, lower right corner. Yeah, that's the same protest. That's the same guy talking there with the white thing on his head. That's the same guy talking in both videos. So that, I'm hoping it's just not the same video twice, but we'll see. Let's watch it and see if it loops around, or is it indeed two separate videos of the same protest. You can't protest without tom-toms and a snare drum. I mean, come on. He's got 5 toms. He ain't fucking around. Anyway, oh, look at me. I just said the F word. I try not to do that, but hey, it comes out every now and then. All right, so let's see what's going on in the chat room. Top, but it hasn't been that busy. Let me switch to live anyway. I don't want to miss anything. All right, there we go. It looks like we run a Siamese cat farm out there.
Yeah, unfortunately, the little one is Alabaster's daughter, and that's Blue out there because he not only ate what I fed him in the house, he ran out here like he's starving.
A lot of these cats, they won't eat with the other cats close by, so we have to kind of work around that. A lot of cats, when we get cats in, a lot of times they have food anxiety really bad. They've had to fight for food. They've had to sneak in, get it. They've had to beat up other cats to eat. And they've had to kill things and eat it. And so when they come here, they're very like food aggressive, and they're very apprehensive about food situations and things like that. It takes a little while to get them to calm down and understand that there's enough for everyone, and we keep bringing it out until everybody eats, and they do finally learn that.
That little one knows she's just as wild as her mom.
Yeah. Oh, there's a frog right behind the cat. I'll tell you what, those frogs will push them cats around a little bit. It's kind of surprising. Other than the baby cat playing with the frogs a little bit, they're never aggressive to them. But the frogs will jump at them. They jump right at them, and the cats just run off. Yeah, that's 2 different videos. They've split up now, but that I think that's 2 different videos down there in New York. Those are both in New York. It looks like they're occupying a street down there in New York. This is a anti-Iranian war protest, is what it says. So that's what we have. And I'm looking for other protest stuff. I'll fill all the holes if I can find stuff to put in them.
He's in St. Pete. He's a GMRS.
I don't see that.
It's the letter M.
Oh, okay. Yep. Hey, St. Pete. Yep, we're GMRS here. My wife and I both have a license, and I'm also a general class amateur radio operator, and we operate repeaters, and we're putting up a network. I'm going to be field daying on Saturday up in Tampa. Very, very active in radio. A lot of my broadcasting here, I do a lot of news, and I do some other things, but a lot of what I do is ham radio. I just released a 50-minute video at 8 o'clock tonight. It premiered, and it's a 50-minute deep dive into everything you need to know about summer field day. So it's on there if you guys want to catch it. Yep, GMRS is fun. I will tell you that you just if you really like GMRS and you're having fun with it, you just need to go ahead and get your ham radio license. I know it's a bunch of stupid shit. I get that, but I also know that the app has the exact answers and questions, and you just read the correct answers. You go through it 10 times, you go take the test, you'll be fine. I did it. I've done it twice. It's really easy to get your ham license because they literally publish the questions and the answers. So you don't even really need to understand or know anything. You just have to be able to memorize 300 questions. And then when you go take your test, they will pull your 30 questions from the pool of 300 questions. And as long as you get, I think it's 75% or 80% or whatever, boom, you get your license. When you got a ham license, you can operate on a number of different bands, all the way down to 160 meters, which is down under 1 megahertz. Up through 80 meters, 40 meters. You can go all the way up into VHF, 50 megahertz, 150 megahertz, UHF, 400 megahertz. You can do the 220 band in between. And then we've got 23 meters, 23 centimeters and 32 centimeters. And then there's even a bunch of bandwidth above that we have access to too. So it's an amazing amount of bandwidth that we have access to, an amazing amount of different bands. And so if you're into radio, it really makes a big difference. I mean, it's to go from GMR. Now, if you just want a better quality CB radio that you can have all your friends talking around town, GMRS is the way to go. I that's probably the way to go. But if you want to get into science and experimentation, and programming radios and doing all kinds of neat stuff and building antennas and all that, I would go get that ham radio license. It's worth it. It's a lot of fun. I don't regret it for a moment because I've had a lot of fun in ham radio. You don't necessarily need to get involved in the clubs or anything else. Just get into the ham radio part of it and start building your own equipment and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. So anyway, I'm looking for some more live cams. Let's see what we got here. What's up, guys? Simplex Radio just arrived in the house. Oh, is this worth anything? What is this? No, it's just cameras. It's just pictures of buildings and stuff. So that's what I had for live cams, guys. I'm checking Times Square. Not a lot going on there. There's really no sense in bringing that up. Checking Bourbon Street in New Orleans. And not much going on there. Not very active tonight. It is, after all, not Friday night. I mean, that's kind of the bottom line here is... it's Thursday night. I think tomorrow night will be a lot busier. A programming note. I will be on tomorrow night for a little while. Probably not a long show because I'm going to be leaving right early in the morning to go and do field day on Saturday. So I'll probably come on tomorrow night for an hour or two, and then that'll be it. I will not be on Saturday. And then... I will start back on Sunday with a full show, and we'll come on. If there's stuff going on, I will come on early. If there's stuff going on, I will stay on late. The kitty licked the plate clean.
Blue.
That's Blue. Blue has some dental issues, and we've dealt with the infection, and he's doing okay now, but he still has a sore tooth or gum because he can't eat the hard food. And so he is the one that really cleans up the wet food because that's what he eats, and we make sure he gets plenty of it. He's a good cat. I don't know what he's doing out there.
Eating the cat food that I threw on the ground for the damn toads. He's not having any of it tonight.
He's a little crazy. He's one of ours, so he's nuts. Every one of our cats is weird. They all have these gimpy little things they do. We got one cat we call Mama Bleep. Why? She's bleeping. She literally walks around with her tongue hanging out. They call that bleeping. So,
Hey, there's Rob.
Mom Bleep. Sparky's Yard. Hey, man, how's it going? or woman. Sorry, there's no gender thing on here, so I don't know. But anyway, thanks for being here, Rob. Thanks for being here. KB6 JFL. You field day on Saturday, Rob? Oh, you said field day at home, turning score in with the club. There you go. That'll work. That'll work. Lotta Carlotta. Yep, I like field day. I like field day. I don't use the A word. I call it summer field day. It pisses them off.
God damn, I can't spell.
Yade. Yep. Well, thanks for being here, everybody. This is our live news broadcast tonight. There's not a whole lot going on tonight, but we are going to run through everything. We are watching a few weather things going on. The only actual area we're watching is this area here. We have one storm chaser up here near Oshkosh, Bigosh. And, God, people in that town must freaking hate that. It's like, don't ever say Bigosh in this town. This is Oshkosh, Oshkosh. Anyway. Yeah, but anyway, this includes Madison and Dubuque, all up in this whole area here. Anywhere inside that green, there's a little bit higher chance tonight of some severe weather. But as there's a line here, but it's really not that bad. We've got these light blue squares are special weather statements, and the red squares are severe thunderstorm warning.
BJ's checking in as Commodore BJ reporting in.
The ship's cafeteria. I'm very busy the next week or so, but I'm actually already started working on graphics.
Yeah, Peggy's getting her.
I'm making Peggy a little bear with a little Starfleet uniform on. It'll be funny. But I'm gonna make graphics. I have a way of making the little graphics and stuff. So I think we're gonna do some graphics down the road, and we're gonna do crew. You guys will be crew, and everybody will have their little spots, and somebody will run the armory, and someone will run the brig, and someone, of course, will have to man phaser control. So we'll have to figure all that out going forward because.
I'm not allowed hot glue guns and glitter.
Yeah.
Just put that out there for everybody.
Babe, if you can't handle hot glue guns, you probably shouldn't be on one of the security squads. I can just put that down. She's my yeoman. We all know how that turns out. They always end up doing the yeoman. Oh, that's a good shot. Chicago sky deck. It's the Chicago sky deck.
Yeah, I seen that the fireballs in the sky today. Yeah.
All right, let's see. Oh, we had a horizon to horizon rainbow today, and it was, yeah, it was pretty damn good, actually. Trying to see if I've got that here available. I don't know. We'll have to see. Let's check it out. It's kind of a crappy picture, but hey,
Never as good as standing there.
I mean, there it is, guys. That's I took that over the top of my vehicle today at my parking lot when I walked out of the show, and the picture doesn't do it any justice whatsoever. But it's actually a horizon to horizon rainbow with a second one over the top of it that goes about halfway across. So it was a really good one. I was like, wow, that's good. I like it. I like it. Back to the grid. Why does that Carlotta one not want to come up? I always have to go and kick it in the ass a little bit to get it to come up. But yeah, but anyway, that was what it looks like.
Where is Rob? There's Rob.
All right. Well, anyway, let's just leave that there. All right, and I'm gonna go back here and take a look and see if I can.
Lieutenant Dan ice cream.
Ice cream, Lieutenant Dan. Lieutenant Dan, ice cream.
I love that movie.
I love that
quote
movie.
that movie. I talk in that movie.
Ice cream, Lieutenant Dan. Lieutenant Dan, ice cream.
Love that movie.
Ice cream, Lieutenant Dan. That is an amazing movie. There's certain movies that are just like that can never be replaced. You know, in the whole thing, and that is just one of those movies that has a special place in my heart. I will always love that movie. It's just an amazing movie. I've always felt that way. I'm going to use this one right here. Hold on, guys. I'm switching cameras around. Whoop, that's not it. Trying to find some different things to look at here. I never realized that how quickly I would run out of things to show you guys as the riots died down. And it has. It's been somewhat difficult to just come up with things to show on the screen, but I try to keep it interesting. Here, I'll split the top screen. That's Times Square on the right. Got busy all of a sudden down there. It actually looks like a lot of people showed up tonight, but I don't actually see that it's necessarily a protest. And then the one on the left there, that's that same one. It's going through about 100 different cams that are live around the world. And then we've got the three on the lower left. Those are the radar Omega cams for areas that are being affected by these storms that you see here. Cedar Rapids just got it pretty good. Eramosa, Marquette, and Manchester, Dubuque, Plattersville, Platteville. I'm sorry, a lot of it going right through that area now, but I don't see anything really severe at this point. And then southeast of Chicago, Gary getting a bad thunderstorm right now. That's moving up towards Kalamazoo, which is the middle camera here that you see. Over on the left side is the live cam out of Kalamazoo. The lower two right cameras are both live in New York. And they're having a protest there that apparently involves dogs and drums. Lots of dogs and drums. It according to the captions on the pictures, it says, or on the videos for those two, they're both in New York, and it says anti-Israel, anti-Iraq-Israel war is what it says. It's anti-war, not specific one side or the other, but an anti-war protest. I want to be specific about that stuff. Because sometimes you get the anti-Israel people and you get the anti-Hamas people and you get but I think what we're seeing here is more just we don't want to fight any wars. I'm pretty sure.
I need a light over here. I'm done with this.
I bought you one. Just push it down like this and it becomes your desk light. Like that. Here. Do it like this.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Is that okay? Then we can make the.
Oh, god damn. Like I'm getting a gynecological exam. Jesus Christ. My OBGYN office.
There you go. All right. I just had to fix her gyno light.
felt like I was getting ready to get examined or be questioned where was I at on the 25th.
I'm going to call that the gynolite from now on. All right.
I saw my own tonsils.
Well, it's better than seeing your own colon. All right, so let's see here. CBS New York, what are they showing? Oh, nothing, because this video requires some kind of subscription. Oh, that's just all the signage, man. You have no idea. The signs in Times Square, these big signs, there's signs hanging up there that cost multiple $1 million. And then they have to pay to put them up there. And then they have to pay to run the damn things and maintenance them.
You want to talk about some cool signs? Go check out, I think it's Korea, or South Korea, of course. Man, they got these ones, I think it's South Korea. Don't hate me. But they come out and they're like 3D. Dude, I'm telling you, soon it's just going to be a flat spot on the front and everything's going to come up and it's going to be like dimensional. The TVs are going to be gone. It's going to be like a hologram and all the action and all the movies. You wait and see. You wait. They're already building these billboards over there that do that shit and it is cool. Back to my station.
And there you go. You're supposed to end with, that's all I got to say about that.
That's all I got to say about that.
To Tent Dan, I scream.
I scream like Tent Dan.
I scream, Tent Dan. They said it was $1 million injury. Army must keep that money. I named it the most beautiful name I could ever imagine. Jenny. Yes, a hologram, yes.
Got that magic legs.
It's magic legs. Yes, our cats have been watching MST3K. We had them watching Hunter for a while, but they started shooting at every car that drove away.
And they thought they were going to fall.
Yeah. That Hunter, man, that's a good show. That was a good show in the day, a good cop show. There's just a few things in that show I can't handle because I was a cop years ago, and there's just a few things in that show I can't handle. And one of the things I can't handle in that show is every scene they run out and the car's driving away, and they both stand in the middle of shooting, whatever you call it on YouTube, at a car that's driving away. Okay, and I'm thinking, holy shit! All the years I did it, you can't shoot at a car that's driving away. You can shoot at a car that's trying to run over you. It don't help, but you can do it. I always thought that was funny that on that show, at least once an episode, they run out into the middle of the street. They stand in what they call the isosceles position, and they just pop, 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 pop. I'm like, Jesus Christ! What about the people that live in the house down at the corner? But it's a good show anyway, and it wasn't bad considering it was a network show. The Mandela effect. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Yeah, the Mandela effect. That's something we can talk about for a few minutes. If you guys let me know. I'm gonna put this in here, but you don't have to answer it right away. Okay, I'm gonna put a poll in here. Do you believe in the Mandela effects? And I'm going to explain what it is. So if you don't know what it is, hold up for a minute before you answer the poll, because I'm going to leave this up for a few minutes, okay? All right, so here it is. The Mandela effect is these things that happen where we remember something differently than it actually happened. And there is a lot of people that believe that somehow, you guys remember the Matrix? You guys remember at one point where something changed and Neo told him, or he told Neo or something, hey, that's because somebody just changed the Matrix. They reprogrammed the Matrix. Well, that's kind of what it is, kind of with the Mandela effect. I don't know if it's a temporal effect, like the timeline changed, but yet our souls or our energy still remembers the old timeline. I'm not sure exactly how this works, but the Mandela effect is something that...
I saw his funeral and I saw Shazam.
You know, there's a lot of things that people are going to say, well, this is bullshit. This isn't really the Mandela effect, or this isn't really it. But the Mandela effect is when we all remember one thing, but actually something else completely different happened. Okay? And I'm going to go through these. My wife and I have some very strong opinions about this because we both believe in this 100%. This happened. There's something wrong with the timeline. It's nothing we got to worry about or anything, but it's weird because things are different now than they were. So what I want you guys to do is tell me if you guys believe these as I go through them. You tell me if you think, because I honestly believe that some of these, I believe I remember these like this, and you guys tell me what you think. It's called the Mandela effect. And it started because many people believe that Nelson Mandela, who in theory is named after, he died in 2013. However, many people remember him dying in prison in 1980. This is an older one, so a lot of you might not remember, but he died a free man in 2013. But my wife and I both remember him dying as we were a kid. It was a thing. It was on TV. He died.
We talked about it in social studies.
I remember it being, he died in prison. Anyway, it's one of those things where for the older folks like us, we actually remember that this man died in prison. That's Nelson Mandela. And that's where the name comes from, the Mandela effect.
He died 100 years ago. He's like Jesus.
Okay, let me give you another one. Okay, Scooby-Doo. You guys remember Shaggy, right? Hey, old Scoob! You remember him, right? Hey, old Raggy. Well, anyway, Scooby-Doo. You remember Shaggy, the pothead that he hung out with? Well, anyway, you remember him having the big Adam's apple, right? He never had an Adam's apple. People clearly remember that he had a big Adam's apple that would go up and down when he talks, right? It's not in the cartoons. You can go back and watch them all. It's not there. And that freaks people out. Ruby Roo! Mickey Mouse. I'll give you another one. How did Mickey Mouse hold up his pants? You remember the original Mickey Mouse? The original one from Steamboat Willie? You remember that? And he's remember the suspenders, the white suspenders that held his white pants up? He never had suspenders. It never happened. It never happened. But yet I can see it in my mind. But yet it never happened. So what's going on here, right?
I think they're all smoking too many mushrooms.
And another one in The Wizard of Oz. This is an interesting little pop culture one here. In The Wizard of Oz, the witch says, "Fly, my pretties, fly." Do you remember that scene when the monkeys go after them? For some reason, everybody remembers that scene, but it's not in the movie. You can go back and watch. She never says that. It's not in the movie.
Whatever.
It's just one of those things.
Yeah, somebody hung themselves on the set. They're hanging in the background.
How do you spell the peanut butter flavored cereal with the pirate on the front? Is it Captain, C-A-P-N, not Captain, C-A-P-T-A-I-N, Crunch? Well, however you spell it, we knew one thing for sure: it's delicious. Captain Crunch the captain was never spelled out. And I don't necessarily remember this one myself, but a lot of people believe they remember that the word captain was spelled out on the box. And it's not. It was never spelled out on the box. So yeah, BJ, it could be alternate universe. It could be alternate reality. It could be a change in the temporal timeline. And here's another one I don't remember myself, but Snoopy's tail. Was Snoopy's tail black? Everybody remembers Snoopy having a black tail, but he actually had a white tail with a black spot. I don't remember that one myself, but that's one that people say. You guys throw in the chat room if you remember any of these. The soul remembers, but our corporeal self changes. We're going to get there, babe.
With Sinbad, yep.
Tony the Tiger's nose. Tony the Tiger has a blue nose, not black. Many people remember the famous Frosted Flakes mascot with a black nose. It could be because his stripes are black, but everybody, if you ask them what color was Tony the Tiger's nose, they'll tell you black. But no, it was actually blue, like a royal blue color. Okay, Sinbad never played a genie. This one is perhaps the most bizarre of all. People can attest to the fact that they distinctly remember, and my wife and I both distinctly remember the comedian Sinbad in a movie where he played a genie, and the movie was called Shazam. I can still remember his ass on the white box, all right? What the F? I remember this movie. I think she had it. This movie existed. It was in the movie stores. I watched this movie. We rented this damn movie, okay? What happened? I'm telling you, this is a weird one. Many argue they're confusing the memory with the movie Kazam, starring Shaquille O'Neal as a genie. But who really knows? It's funny because many of us remember this movie that they say was actually never made.
Yep, and it was Sinbad.
It was Sinbad, and the movie was called Shazam.
Yep.
Do you guys remember that movie? This one blows my mind too.
See, look, there's some
Yes,
yep.
yes, yes. Thank you, Too Sweet. It blows my mind too. All right, so another one. Britney Spears' famous music video. Many can distinctly remember Britney. She wore a microphone headset in the video. Do you guys remember that? She wore the microphone headset with the black thing on it in the video. The doll was even sold with the headset on the doll. However, if you go back and rewatch it now, she has no headset on.
She's singing like a dolphin. That's why she's got that little red outfit, or she's singing like a dolphin. Oh yeah, she did it in Hit Me Baby One More Time.
It could just be that we're remembering different times, different things. Here's another one.
I got that tramp sitting in a schoolgirl outfit with that thing on her head for Hit Me Baby One More Time.
This next one here. Do you guys remember Jiffy peanut butter? Because I do. You remember Jiffy peanut butter? It's Jif now, right? But you remember Jiffy, right? You remember Jiffy? There's never been a Jiffy peanut butter. Ever, 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 ever. It's always been Jif. Choosy moms choose Jif. Cranky old women. Anyway, the point is, Jiffy never existed. It's believed that it could be being conflated with Jiffy Pop, who made a popcorn with a colorful top. I don't know. But that's always been one that's been a little freaky for me too. Now, this is another one that gets me. This one bugs me because I remember this. Do you know which way was it spelled? Looney Tunes or Looney Tunes? Tunes.
Oh,
It was always spelled Toons, is what I remember, right? They say, and you go back and watch now, they're all Looney Tunes, Tunes, tunes. So, you guys tell me what you remember, because, yeah. Another one, I don't really quite understand what happened with that one. All right, let's see. Oh, now this one I don't see. This is one I have a little harder time with because I don't remember exactly. But the Berenstain Bears, this is a spelling thing, and I was never a speller. So, but is it the Berenstain Bears or the Berenstain Bears? And they actually spell their last name with the A in it, A-I-N, Berenstain Bears. It's not the Berenstain Bears. So, but for some reason, we don't remember it that way. It's like it's different. It's different in our history than it is, you know, what we remember is different than what actually is existing. Here's another one. I don't really remember this one as much, but maybe you guys do. Remember Curious George? Didn't he have a tail? He never had a tail. None of the pictures depicted of him in any of the branding ever showed a tail. Yet, if you have people draw him, they will always draw him with a tail. Now, there's got to be something to that. Okay, this one just is probably because we don't read shit very well. But this show, the show with the 4 women in it, the Sex and the City, the show was actually called Sex and the City, right? I think that's more of a slang thing. This particular one, I don't chalk up to the Mandela effect. Let's see, Febreze. You might use the stuff every day, but be honest, you thought it was Febreze, didn't you? There's never been two E's in Febreze. It's only been one. But see, if you would have asked me, I would have spelled it with 2 E's, Febreze. Because I don't know why. Again, one of those weird things. How about Oscar Mayer? How did you spell Oscar Mayer? Was there an Oscar Mayer with an A or with an E? Well, it's with an A. There's an A in it. It's Oscar Mayer, not Oscar Meir. So there you go. Skechers. This is one I wasn't even aware of this one. Let's see here. There's no actual T in Skechers. It's Skechers, but there's no T. You see that? The one on the right is the correct one. The one on the left is the one people remember. How about Fruit Loops? How do you remember Fruit Loops? Before I roll this up, was fruit spelled F-R-U-I-T or was it spelled fruit, F-R-O-O-T? Think about it. Fruit or fruit? Well, there you go. Kellogg's has been spelling fruit like that for years, and we only noticed it now. You guys remember that? All right. Let's see. Henry's turkey leg. I don't know what this one is. Remember the portrait of the King of England wielding a turkey leg? It was never a turkey leg, apparently. Okay, I'm not. Oh, here's a good one. The Monopoly Man. You guys remember the Monopoly Man? Remember he had the monocle? Remember? And he's always running with the monocle. He never had a monocle. Ever. There was never a game made where he had a monocle. Yet I distinctly, when people are asked to draw the Monopoly Man, they always draw him with a monocle. Why? It's because we somehow remember a different past. Let's see, is there more? Pikachu's tail. I don't know anything about Pikachu. There was never any black detailing on his tail. It was always just yellow, if that means anything to you guys. Kit Kat. You guys remember that?
Oh. See, I thought it was Kit Kat.
Yeah. There is no hyphen, guys. The hyphen is in your head. It's just Kit Kat. Fruit of the Loom. This is another one that got me. There was never a cornucopia on your underwear tag.
My ass. I had my little Fruit of the Loom, Wonder Woman, little sets, and the hell they didn't.
They want you to believe that your Fruit of the Loom never had
Bullshit.
the cornucopia. It was always just a little pile of fruit sitting there by itself.
Bullshit.
Where did the cornucopia come from in my head? Because I remember it on there. Do you guys remember the cornucopia? Cheez-Its. Yep. There was never the Z on the end. The one on the right is always the one that's current, that's correct. The one on the left is the way people remember it. And there was never a Z on the end. It's always just been Cheez-It, not Cheez-Its. There's never been two F's in double stuffed Oreos. Now, see, I don't remember that one at all, but apparently there's never been the extra F. Some people remember double stuff with two F's, but that was never the case. Mona Lisa's smile. People believe that at one time she had a much more obvious smile than she does today, and some people chalk this up to a Mandela effect. C-3PO has a silver leg. That is true. I actually noticed that. I actually noticed that when I went back and watched it, but I never noticed it in the original run. Yes, he does have one leg that doesn't match.
That one, that magic legs. But you know, it wasn't like that in Spaceballs. Her legs matched.
And that's another one here. The Flintstones. Actually, people remember it being Flintstones, but it's actually Flint Stones, which actually would be grammatically correct.
Oh, kiss my ass with that grammatically shit.
Yes, BJ. You can't ever look at a cornucopia again and not see the doomsday machine coming. Dun, dun. By the way, that's my favorite episode of all time.
Mine's the Trouble with Troubles.
And this is just, I think, where people remember this wrong, but he never actually says, Luke, I am your father. You know, at some point he does say, I'm your father, or something like that, but he never actually says it. Oh, that's interesting. See, I didn't know that. There's only one Cinderella's castle, and that's in Walt Disney World here in Florida. The blue and pink castle in California is Disneyland's Sleeping Beauty Castle. What, do people remember that differently or something?
Why?
See, these are just misremembrances. That's a great movie, Jaws. We're going to need a bigger boat. Ed McMahon and Publishers Clearinghouse.
If I'm not
You are correct, sir.
Roddy. Y'all want to Google? Here's something to Google. I've been doing a rewatch of Soap from back in the 70s. It's about the only thing I could ever stand Billy Crystal in.
Huh.
And the other guy, he was Rafferty in The Heavenly Kid. But anyway, where was I going with this?
Ed McMahon.
Yeah, Roddy.
Roddy.
From The
Price is Right.
Right. He's the one that's doing the readouts in the beginning of each episode of Soap. But you might want to Google and check it. But if that's what I heard, whatever. That was a whole lot of nothing about nothing.
It's Soap, a show about two women and the freaks that live with them.
Oh.
All right.
Bert. He was Rafferty in The Heavenly Kid.
We do a lot of times here at the house. We don't watch any new TV per se. I do watch Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. I'm watching. It's about to come out in a few weeks with another series, another third series.
It's an Australian show. It's called Prisoners, Cell Block H.
Yes, that was like a
692 episodes. Well worth it. Watch it. It's a great show.
Yeah, she did the whole. She binge watched.
Vinegar Tits.
Yeah. She actually had the name Vinegar Tits for a while. Shawshank Redemption is probably one of my top 20 movies. Amazing movie. I love the cast.
Yes.
Just absolutely amazing movie. The guy that played the warden in that went on to play a captain of a starship that went rogue in Cardassian space in Star Trek.
Here's a Hollywood fun fact. Tim Robbins, that was in Shawshank Redemption, was also the scientist guy in Howard the Duck.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's one of the things, you don't have to like prison movies to like Shawshank Redemption. I'm not a prison movie guy. I can take them or leave them. That movie's just amazing. It's absolutely amazing. It was so well done. It was a very well done movie, and I just really like that. I really do. All right, guys, let's finish up with the Mandela effect. I'm going to go up here and take a look here. Let's go ahead and end the poll, and let's see where we stand on the Mandela effect. Looks like 64% of you believe in the Mandela effect, while 35% of you believe, more than likely it's just we're remembering it wrong. And you could be right. But I do appreciate the 14 of you that voted on that, and I do think myself, I personally believe in it, and so does my wife. There's certain things like that movie that just sticks in my craw because I remember it. You know, when you remember something, for sure, you know, it is what it is. God, the news is just all political. It's just political. Political. Okay. Okay, here we go. This could be interesting. Let's do this. NASA's Curiosity rover discovers unusual boxwork patterns on Mars linked to ancient waterways. Scientists puzzled by unique formations that suggest water once flowed beneath the red planet's surface. Well, yeah, duh. But yeah, it is widely believed that that the planet had water on it. I mean, come on. It almost had to, right? So anyway, here's the photograph for you guys, and you can see the when you see those lines running down through there, and the square spots, like almost like alligatoring, they call it, or gatoring. That's caused by water, and yeah, I mean that definitely looks like it was affected by water at some time. Isn't that amazing? We're looking at rocks on another planet. Same solar system, but another planet. Freaking amazing. Them rovers were amazing. They lasted for so much longer than the mission was supposed to last. That one drug its wheel for several years, dragging a gimpy wheel. Kind of amazing. I I think that here's a great shot of the Mars rover. Here's a great shot of the rover and the rocks here. Hold on just a second. I'm pulling this away. There we go. Sorry guys, producing and directing here. I just wanted to move this over so you can actually see the rover. There we go. Yeah, there's the rover. And this is a fisheye lens, obviously. But this thing has been trucking around up there. I still just am amazed at what we've done, what our space programs have done between the International Space Stations, the exploration of other worlds, our exploration of our own star. We have the Shoho spacecraft out there that are beaming back images of our star. It's just amazing what we've been able to do in the amount of time. In a very short amount of time, you know. Look where we were just 100 years ago. In 1925, think where we were. I want you guys to think about this. Hold on, it's redoing it for me. In 1925, 100 years ago tonight, radio was the primary technology shaping mass culture, becoming widely available and affordable with millions of radios in homes across the U.S. Radio revolutionized communications and entertainment, enabling shared experiences through music, news, and drama programs. Radio advertising also fueled the rise of consumerism. 100 years ago tonight, the automobile, particularly Henry Ford's mass-produced Model T, became more accessible, offering increased mobility and influenced urban development. However, for long-distance travel, trains and ocean liners remain the dominant modes of transportation. 100 years ago tonight, in our homes, they had access to electricity. It was growing, spreading across the country, leading to development and increased adoption of electric appliances like vacuum cleaners, washing machines, and refrigerators, changing the way people did housework. Early electric appliances included vacuum cleaners resembling bags attached to carpet sweepers, open construction toasters without covers, and heavy sad irons embedded with electrical elements. Aviation, commercial aviation was in its earlier stages, mainly used by enthusiasts and for mail delivery. Early airplane travel was expensive and lacked modern comforts. Pilots like Charles Lindbergh became national heroes through record-setting flights. 100 years ago tonight, the discovery of insulin was a record breakthrough for treating diabetes. But antibiotics like penicillin were not yet widely available. X-ray machines were used for diagnostic, and hospitals were transitioning into modern institutions focusing on recovery and cure. Entertainment Besides radio, silent movies were popular at the time. This is just 100 years ago. But talking pictures were beginning to emerge. The first commercially successful talkie, The Jazz Singer, premiered in just 2 years ago, 2 years from now, 100 years ago, in 1927. Other innovations that were being invented at the time, 100 years ago tonight. The first electric automatic traffic signal was being produced. Quick frozen food processing was developed for the first time. The Band-Aid was invented. The electric blender was invented. The lie detector polygraph machine was in its infancy and was being developed. And they had just developed sliced bread. Overall, 1925 was a time of significant technological change, impacting daily life, entertainment, and communications. Now, I want you to think about what I just read. That's been 100 years. We've been on this planet for 1,000,000 years. Give or take 100,000. The point is we've been on this planet a very, very, very long time. Okay? And we went from no computing to vacuum tube computing to solid state computing to quantum computing in 95 years. That's crazy. That's quantum leaps in technology. Boom, 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 boom. Regardless of how we got that. Yeah, 150,000 years. I mean, we've been here a very long time in one form or another. It is crazy to think about. He looks like the Mars rover looked like the robot Johnny Five. That was a good movie. That was a kid movie back in the, what was it, early 80s, late 70s, early 80s. Johnny Five is alive. That was big when it came out. That was a fun movie. Yeah. Oh yeah, we're one of a billion galaxies. Okay. Yeah. As far as getting to other planets, we will not possess the technology to get living humans to other planets in the next 100 or 200 years. I agree. It's going to be very, very difficult. Moon landing was faked? Nah. Nope. It goes against the laws of probability. I'm going to tell you what that means. It basically, what it is there's no way that secret will be kept. There's no way. It's one of the biggest things that happened in our lifetimes. Okay, it's one of the largest human things that's ever happened, and I know that there's a good argument that can be made for control of information and this and that and the other thing. But the bottom line is, it would have taken 10,000 people to know that it was all bullshit in order to pull it off. And there's no way that it would have ever stayed like this for 60 years. There's no way it would stay like this for 60 years. I just don't. When you look at all the possibilities, the possibility that seems the most likely, the possibility that seems the easiest to get to attain, is generally the one that happened, okay? And it's actually would have been equally as difficult to fake the moon landing as it would have been to just do the moon landing. I mean, they were building the technology. There was some crazy stuff going on back then, and I'll be the first one to admit, I read the papers about the different missions that were being planned, and some of them were suicide missions. It was not good. But I happen to know, I have studied the moon landings my entire life. I was born on the day that the first man stepped on the moon. I'm a moon child. And I have been very, very, very into the moon landings and very into that whole thing. And I've done all kinds of stuff with it. I've even produced stuff for it. I've checked into it. There was a time when I was starting to believe in the conspiracy, and I began doing my own research. And I'm just telling you guys, there's a lot of conspiracy theories out there that we can talk about all night long, but this is one I've put to bed. This is one I've put to bed. We've got moon rocks. We know they're moon rocks. They've been tested by thousands of people. They've been subjected to all kinds of different tests at different universities by people that don't keep their mouth shut very well. We have moon rocks. It's hard to get around that particular fact in itself. But I also know that there was ham radio operators that were receiving the signals directly from space. So they would have had to spoof that by sending the signal to the moon and then sending it back from the moon. I mean, it gets to the point where it's just too much. It's just too much. It's much easier to just believe that they did what they did. That's what everybody believes that they did, because that's what they did. Like I said, sometimes the path of least resistance is the truth, and that's usually the case. Now, if you want to tell me they're hiding Stargate technology, if you want to tell me they're traveling to other planets, if you want to tell me they've got spacecraft in Area 51, if you want to tell me that the entire computer age was born out of Roswell, I agree with all that. I believe in all that. I'm a conspiracy theory guy. Take my word for it, okay? But I also can put them to bed when they need to get put to bed. All right? There's several conspiracies I put to bed. Our government did not do 9/11. Okay? Didn't happen. Now, we can go back and forth all night about the semantics, about this and that, and the funding to this country and the funding to that country and the things people might have known here and there and the other thing. I'm not getting into any of that. I'm just telling you, as a whole, that day happened as it happened. It was what it was. Same thing with the moon landing. It was what it was. Now, you want to talk about the JFK assassination? I still don't know what happened on that. We still don't know what happened on that. There's so much there because there's so few people that would have had that information. So it's that particular one there. I would love to sit down and do a long study with you guys. That would be fun. I mean, I love these. I love conspiracies. And I do believe in quite a few of them. But I can put them to bed. And that's kind of where I'm at. Well, see, there you go. They're involved in 911. Well, yes. I mean, if you widen that out to the widest possible meaning of the word involved, I guess everybody was involved, weren't they? Everybody's funding everything. We've been funding things all over this world for millions and millions and millions of dollars every minute of every day, and we don't know where that money's being spent. All that needs to stop. There's just a lot of things going on out there that we don't know about. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that there was no secret group in this group of this operation and this people that did this with this. Okay. I'm telling you, it was not a government operation. It was not signed off by the president or anything like that. That's just a fallacy. It is. And the same thing with the moon landing. I do believe we went to the moon for sure. We went back a number of times. We brought back rocks. The real mystery is, why did we stop going suddenly? You know, they had 3 more ships being built. We had 1 almost done. Is the moon hollow? I'll talk about that all night. That moon rings when you hit it with something. There's something up with that moon. I personally believe the moon was put there to facilitate this experiment that we're all a part of. Without that moon, we wouldn't have had the tidal forces. Without those tidal forces, we never would have had Genesis on this planet, and we would not be here today. Okay? And you can believe in this and believe in God at the same time. I don't want to get into that discussion. But the point is if we didn't have that tidal action, if that tidal system was not set up, with a moon that's the perfect weight and the perfect size in the perfect orbit that doesn't rotate. You know, it's the only body we're aware of that doesn't rotate. It's the only heavenly body that we've ever detected anywhere that doesn't rotate. It doesn't. The same side faces Earth. You've never seen the backside of the moon with your eyes. Every night when you look at the moon, you see the exact same thing. The same side of the moon. It doesn't rotate. The side we see from here is the side we always see from here. The reason it's half covered sometimes with light, and sometimes it's a full moon, and sometimes it's a new moon, is because the sun shines on all parts of the moon, but the earth can only see one side of it. That could be. God could have put the moon there because God would know in order to get life to work on this particular planet based on carbon, using energy as a foundation, you're going to have the tidal action in order to make it happen. So, did God put the moon here? Sure. I'm willing to entertain that because I believe in God and I believe that the moon was put here. So, yeah, I mean, I absolutely do. I think that if you think about it, the moon is essential to our existence. Absolutely essential to our existence. It doesn't match any other natural body in composition, in rotation, in everything. I want you to think of something else. During an eclipse, the moon and the sun appear the exact same size in the sky. Do you know what the odds are? That not only is the moon the perfect size, but it's the perfect distance to give us a perfect circular disk around the sun during an eclipse. And on a lunar eclipse, it literally, the earth just covers the moon, and the moon is illuminated by the light that's bent through our atmosphere, and that's why it turns red. What are the odds? No other moons do this. Some planets have a bunch of moons. None of them do this. So, I mean, the moon definitely is... the moon is definitely something to me that's a suspicion. It's an anomaly. When we hit the moon with something, it rings. There's a resonance. Shouldn't do that. It should be a solid core. Also, it's believed that the gravity on the moon is wrong. It probably should have more gravity than that. There's a lot of things about the moon, about the injector blanket on the moon. There's just a lot of things about the moon that we just don't understand. And the moon is something you can study and study and study. It's really cool. I'll tell you the one that really bothered me was the last mission that went to the moon. Let me get the information here. The last mission to the moon was Apollo 17, and when they went to the moon with Apollo 17, it was the 11th and final mission of the Apollo missions. It was the 6th and most recent time humans had set foot on the moon. We only went 6 times.
So they say.
All right, let's see here. What I want to do is I need to find images. Why don't I see this coming up? Has this been scrubbed? All right, when they went down in the crater, it's weird, a lot of these pictures are missing. We're not sure what happened, but on the last day of the mission, they stopped and they went down into a crater. There was not a mission plan to go down in this crater. They saw something down in the crater. They wanted to go get it. They go get this thing out of the crater. They go off comms for 35 minutes, okay, which is odd. And they go to a side channel. We knew they had a channel where they could talk and we couldn't hear them. There was a backup channel. They went off comms, they went to the backup channel, and they started whatever. They started talking about whatever it was that happened up there. Well, while they were up there, they saw this thing up there, and they're not sure exactly what it is, but down in this crater, they saw something that interested them. And so they said, well, we want to go check that out. So what they did was they parked the lander, And they went down in there to check it out. Now, the resolution's not great, but this is what I have for you. They call it Data's head, although I always thought that was stupid considering it looks just like C-3PO's head. But anyway, it is not color enhanced. There is definitely a red coloring there on it. It looks like a skull or a mechanical head. I'm not sure which. This picture was taken right before they went radio blackout. Oh shit, let me hit the button so you guys can see it. Here we go. Sorry about that. This picture here, the bottom is just a zoom up of the top. They take this picture, they see this down in the bottom of the crater, they stop the lander, they go off comms, they go off mission, they go down there, they retrieve this head, we think. They load it back up, they go back on comms, they go back to the ship, they blast off from the moon, and we never go back in 50 years. You tell me what it is. Why did we not go back in 50 freaking years? 50 years.
Yeah, I know. You didn't see about this? Don't freak him out too bad.
I'll freak out enough.
We're not alone, buddy. This universe is too big for that. We're not alone.
So they found something up there. And whatever they found up there, they went off comms to talk about it.
We'll be back.
They got back to the ship. They loaded up. I think they left on time. I don't think they blasted off early or anything.
We'll run up TikTok. We'll be
Okay.
back.
But they came home and they canceled the next 3 missions, and that was it. We never went back to the moon. And the Russians never went to the moon, according to them. And no one else has ever gone to the moon. Why? Well, I don't think that was blood on its mouth. I think it was it was something that was red colored. Equipment is colored red a lot of times. If blood was exposed to space, it would not still be red. So I don't think it's blood. It's not blood. Just the red was maybe its mouth was painted red to approximate a human mouth, or maybe it was just the color of a piece of the equipment. I don't know. But yeah, there was definitely a red return coming back from there. I don't know, dude. You got to tell me on that one. I actually believe there might be something to some of this stuff. Like I said, this is called, if you want to look it up, it's called Data's Head. Richard C. Hoagland is the guy that spearheaded this. He does this, and he also does the face on Mars that they've been investigating. That one there kind of debunked it once we got another angle. But this one here, this is something we found in a crater, and they went and got this thing out of the crater, and now we don't go back to the moon for 50 years. We don't even talk about it. Now, all of a sudden, in the last 5 years, we're talking about going back to the moon again. What scared us so bad? We should have Moonbase Alpha up there right now. I mean, we should have everything going on up there. Yeah, the moon has no atmosphere. If there was any atmosphere on the moon, it would have bled off long ago because of the very low gravity. The fact that Mars has a lower gravity is probably why Mars doesn't have more of an atmosphere. Mars only has 1 or 2% of the atmosphere that we have here on Earth. We don't know how fortunate we are to find a lush atmosphere like this that's full of water and moisture and oxygen. They truly call this the Goldilocks planet. It's right in the middle of the Goldilocks zone. I mean, the odds of another planet being this good in nature is almost impossible. That's why I believe the moon was towed here into place. The moon was put here. This whole thing was set up. It's too perfect. You kidding me? It's just all too perfect. Mars could have had a nuclear war, but I don't know. I think it's more likely that Mars just lost its... If it had an atmosphere, it lost it. Well, there you go. Even the scientists have to know how to use a phaser and a tricorder. But anyway, yeah. So I actually believe that that the moon was probably towed here and was probably put in this orbit because it would be necessary to spin up carbon-based life on this planet. I think we're in an experiment. I think we're in a time dilation field. I think they're watching us develop as a culture, develop as a planet. It may not be just us. They may be watching the entire universe. We have no idea the size scale. The number one thing, does anybody know the number one thing the sci-fi shows get wrong? I'm going to give you guys a minute to tell me what you think. The number one thing that science fiction shows get wrong when it comes to people from other planets or beings from other planets. I'll give you guys a second, see if anybody can come up with it. What's the number one thing between other races and ours from other planets that they get wrong? And it looks like that protest in New York is still going on. I think the one guy left, though. Yeah, ding ding, you're right. Without the moon, we do not get the meteorological changes that we get on the planet. We don't get the tidal surge, the tidal movements. Without those things, life never forms here. This is just a barren rock with water on it. And I don't think life, certainly carbon-based life with intelligence like ours would have certainly never formed here. And now look, this is what's scary. The life here, okay, has now created life. We've created the AI that's eventually going to run this planet. And it's already created today. It already exists. You're close, Victor. But I'll tell you what it is. Language, Victor's right. Language is going to be a bitch. Because language for us involves making noises. What if it involves them making smells? What if for them it involves creating light flashes? What if for them it involves touch or energy transfer or data transfer? So yeah, communication is a huge challenge, okay? But I'm going to tell you what the biggest thing they get wrong. Here it is. You ready? Size. Dinosaurs were huge because the gravity was different back then. It was a different time for our planet. Dinosaurs couldn't live today at 1-to-1 gravity. Okay? So basically, if you went to another planet, the chance of the ambassador on that planet having 2 arms and 2 legs and 1 head and being 5'7" is almost impossible. You may get there and we are the size of bacteria. Or we may get there and they're the bacteria to us, and we end up, while they're trying to make first contact, we end up killing them off our skin with a cream. Size is going to be the big one. Size. Look, the Klingons are all 6 foot, the Romulans are all 6 foot. You know, the Andorians are 6 foot, maybe a little more with the antennas. I mean, no matter which show you look at, pretty much all of the bad guys, all of the good guys, all of the other aliens and all of the other shows, every one of them, they're all 5'6", 5'10" in that area. And so I think that is going to end up being the biggest challenge when we get there. How do we let them know that we're alive and we're sentient if we're the size of bacteria to them? Or what if we arrive there and we don't even realize they're there because they're so small? Or what if we get there and their particular form of life lives in such a different life cycle to ours that we think that they're not alive? But they are. But they move at 1/100th of the speed that we move. And they look like rocks. So when we arrived, we just saw rocks. But those are actually the life forms. Those big rocks. This is the crazy part of this, is Star Trek makes it look easy. They make it look real easy with the universal translator, Victor. Don't they? I mean, they put the thing on their shirt and now they can walk up to someone on Armenia R7 and start talking, and the guy can understand what they're saying. That's awesome. And that's a huge advancement. But that's not going to be the biggest issue they're going to have. Size differential is going to be the biggest issue they have. Mark, that's a good point. We would probably seek out new life that is similar to ourselves. But while we're doing that, we could wipe out whole civilizations that we didn't even realize exist. A little rock could fly by in space, and our engines burn it up as it goes by, and we killed an entire billion race of people that lived on that little rock. That's what I'm saying. In Star Trek, everybody's 5'9". It's like, it's not going to be that way, I'm telling you. Yep. It'll be a while before we travel beyond our solar system. Yeah. And the biggest challenge is not speed. The biggest challenge is inertial dampening. I've been saying this for years. Gene Roddenberry actually had it right with that. He said that in order for a ship to travel faster than light, you're going to have to put a device in front of the ship. The front of the ship would be a device that pulls everything in the ship towards the front of the ship at the exact same rate that acceleration is pulling everything to the back of the ship. And basically what you would do is you would null out inertia. You see what I mean? You would arrest inertia. And in other words, you would stand there and you would suddenly be moving tens of thousands of miles an hour in one direction while the front of the ship is pulling you forward at a tremendous rate. So that to you, you're just standing there. There was no difference because you were being pulled forward and pulled backwards by inertia at the same energy level. And so you didn't realize you were moving. That is what's going to be required before we can do faster than light travel. In order to travel up to the speed of light, even at 3 Gs, could you imagine living for 5 years on a spacecraft at 3 times gravity? But even after 5 or 10 years at 3 times gravity, you will still not be at the speed of light yet. And once you get to the speed of light, if you can, you're going to have to immediately turn that thing around and hope you've got enough power to slow it back down, because it's going to take just as long to slow back down to a slow speed that where you can come into an orbit of another planet. That's one thing we don't realize. Most people don't think about in space. When you're moving through space, you got to have the same amount of energy to stop as you had to go. See, on Earth, if you let your foot off the gas, it'll eventually roll into a stop or roll into a tree. On a ship, when you let your foot off the gas, it just keeps going the same speed forever until it runs into a planet. So you'll literally be stuck on a ship that's moving almost the speed of light for the rest of your life until you die, because you don't have enough power to turn you around or slow you down or do any of the things you need to do in order to make your next stop. So To go the speed of light, we need twice the power, because we need the power to go and the power to stop. Oh, did you send me that video? Let me look. Let me see if I can pull it up here. That's weird, I don't see it. You sent it to ko4efs@gmail.com. Oh. I don't see it. I got a couple of mod requests here, and I'm going to get to those. I don't see it, but I've got it. I'm putting it in my notes now that I need to go find that so I can have it ready for the next show. Just keep reminding me. I do want to show it. Trust me. I do want to show it. All right. Let me see here. I thought there was something else I wanted to do here. See if I can find it here. I got a notification today. I thought it was funny. I want to show you guys this. The Wand Company. You guys remember I told you about that tricorder? Remember the phaser, the communicator, the tricorder? The Wand Company makes camera-ready, working models of those three devices. The phaser doesn't really shoot anybody, but it's a remote control for your TV. The communicator Bluetooths to your phone, and it works like a regular communicator. And now they have a tricorder, and the tricorder, yeah, you guessed it, there it is. And it works. It actually works. It senses its environment. It records things. It has all the captain's logs in it from the Enterprise. And they sent me this email today because I put a thing in that I wanted to buy one. And they said it is now available. There is some available now on the Amazon USA. And I'm like, oh, goodness, I want one so bad. So I clicked there. I couldn't afford to buy it right this minute anyway. Thanks for trying to buy a tricorder. Unfortunately, they're already gone out of stock again. In 2 hours, this thing had gone out of stock. And I'm telling you guys, I want one. I wasn't going to buy it anyway right now because I've got about 5 other irons in the fire right now, but I was like freaking out. I'm like, man, they're selling it right now. I can buy it right now. The really cool thing, if you guys didn't see it the other night, the really cool thing about it is try to see if I can find that one video I found before. Anyway, what it was the here, I'll just use this one. I just want to show you guys this. It is so cool to me. But look at this. It actually works, guys. It actually works. Look at this. It has all the planet data for all the planets and the moon and everything in our solar system is all in there. These are all the different systems. And see their status. It's got all the different things that it does. Does log playback. Oh, hold it still, man. Come on. Isn't that cool? and the little buttons actually do, you know, make it go. Look at this. It actually shows you there's the power that the tricorder has available, and I love this thing. Trust me, if I buy this, we will unbox it live. Trust me, I would love to do that. But I've always, my whole life, I thought how cool it would be if we had actually had a working tricorder, and they actually make one now. They actually have the captain's logs in there that you guys can hear. I think you can hear. I dropped my headphones, so I don't know if you can hear. No, maybe not. But anyway, yeah, so you can see there, it does, it plays all the actual captain's logs with Bill Shatner's voice, Mr. Spock's voice. And it even got the captain's logs that are in, like, the promos and stuff that didn't actually make it into the shows, which I thought was really cool. But it also has, like, an electromagnetic field sensor in it. It detects the environment and temperature and different things like that. What an amazing thing. It's a toy. It's a man toy. Look at this. It also, remember the episode City on the Edge of Forever, when they go back in time and Captain Kirk learns that he has to allow his girlfriend Edith Keeler to die in order to set the timeline straight? It actually has the same thing that Spock saw on the tricorder, which I thought was really cool. And there it is. These are the same videos that you saw on the tricorder on that episode. And a lot of people feel that that's one of the best Star Trek episodes ever. And that again, like I said, was City on the Edge of Forever. It was the first time that you heard a bad word on network television. Captain Kirk at the end, after he had to let her die in a car accident, he goes back through the time machine, back to time, and everything returns to normal. And he looks up at the sky and he says, "Let's get the hell out of here." And that was one of the first, if not the first time, the word hell was spoken on network television. But anyway, yeah, so there you go. And there it records, it plays back, it does many of the things you would expect a tricorder to do. I guess the only thing it really doesn't do is it doesn't search for life forms yet. Oh God. Anyway, so there you go. I know I'm kind of selling this thing for the Wand Company, but whatever. They have done a really good job making this thing, and I'm just really happy with it. I'm glad that they made it for us. I'm just so glad that it's available out there for us. All right, so let me see if there's anything else here that we're going to talk about. What's going on with the frogs, baby? I see one frog.
Yeah, they keep getting scared off right now.
All right. Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff in the skies lately, that's for sure. Let's see, did I miss anybody? Oh, Beasley, thanks for coming in. No, wow, okay, let me look that up. I have not heard of that meteorite strike in Georgia. I have a cabin in North Georgia. My wife and I own a cabin near Blairsville. Fireball in the sky seen across northern Atlanta, it says. Oh, yeah. Wow. All right. Channel 2 Action News is receiving reports of a fireball falling from the sky Thursday afternoon. Several viewers have called and messaged saying they saw something in the sky before hearing a loud boom and feeling a shaking. NASA confirmed to Channel 2 Action News that it was a meteor first seen 48 miles above Oxford, Georgia in Newton County and was moving 30,000 miles an hour. They say it was produced by an asteroidal fragment that had 3-foot diameter and weighed more than a ton. It's disintegrated about 27 miles above West Forest, Georgia, which released the same amount of energy as 20 tons of TNT, according to NASA. That's likely the result in the loud boom that hundreds of people in the area have reported hearing. Henry County Sheriff Reginald Scandrett told Channel 2's Courtney Francisco that he and his team felt it and it stopped them in their tracks. Emergency officials say they are investigating reports that a piece of meteorite flew through the roof and into a Henry County, Georgia home. Henry County Emergency Management Director Ryan Morris told Francisco that he went to the home to make sure everyone was okay. He says the man reported that it sounded like a gunshot, and then he noticed pieces of rock on the ground. We've received reports from across metro Atlanta, including DeKalb County, downtown Atlanta, and down to Henry and Newton counties, all reporting sightings. Severe Weather Team 2 meteorologist Brian Monahan says it may be a meteorite burning up in the atmosphere. The National Hurricane Center in Charleston, South Carolina, reported a streak in Gettysburg, Virginia, just before noon. No, it's Guestbury. I said it wrong twice. Guestbury. Yeah, so there you go. The only pictures we have here is this, but I'll show it to you. These are a picture of the hole, the hole that it made in the ceiling and the debris that was left behind there. Very interesting. Normally meteors don't make it to the ground, but I will tell you the positive news: very few people get killed by meteor attacks every year, so not that big a deal probably. Ooh, I thought that was going to lock up. It did a weird thing. All right, anyway, so there you go. There's the deal. I'm trying to see if there's any video. Trying to see if they're showing any video of it.
Want some Sour Patch?
Yeah, in a minute. Let's see here. I'm trying to. No, I was hoping somebody had some good video of it. Wow. Well, okay. So there you go. At first I thought, well, maybe it's a piece of space debris. But see, the thing is, the stuff that we blast up into space is so light because we want it to be very light so we can get it up there. It normally burns up pretty easy coming back down. Victor, no problem, buddy. I love doing it for you guys. All right, and I just got a warning that I just had a little bandwidth drop off there, but hopefully that'll fix it in a minute. Meteor, yes, a meteor, yes. This one was a heavy, probably had like a nickel or iron core, came in really fast. Aquarius, I would love to have some way to quantify that. But a lot of people talk about the whole Palladian thing. I've listened to people on Coast to Coast about it and the whole thing. I'm interested, but there's never been anything empirical produced. It's always just been, I'm this, I feel that, and I believe this, and okay, I'm not going to dispute you, but I also have nothing that I can put in front of me and look at either. So it's kind of a tough thing. That's kind of the same problems I have with all the man-made religions. Or I should say man-propagated religions is probably a better way to put it. Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue. You guys know that's an airplane reference. That's cool. I think that's neat. There's a video from a person in a car that caught it on the news. BJ sent video to your inbox. All right, I'm checking my inbox. Oh wait, here we go. I do have it. Problem playing video. Let me download it and see if I can play it directly. All right, guys, there you go. This is his video. There we go, right there. I'll play it a bunch of times so we can see it. Oh, you know, that looks like a launch. That looks like a launch. What time was this? Was it within 2 hours of the sun going down? Because this looks like something that is something that's being launched, and you're in darkness, but where it's at up there, it's in the sunlight, and that's what it looks like. There's been some really cool ones like that. All right, here we go. Here we go again. And I'll go ahead and see if I can zoom it in some for you guys. All right, let's see here. Where's it at? Where's it at? All right, there. I've got it zoomed in quite a bit. Let me switch my studio to real time here. All right, we're going to try this again. And this time, I'm going to try to keep it right in the middle. Wow, it's a great piece of video, though. I mean, it's really cool. We'll let it go here again. What do you guys think about that? Wow. It looks like something either taking off or re-entering. It could be something on re-entry as well that was up when it's been a couple hours after dark, like an hour after dark. You're in complete darkness, but the stuff that's up above the atmosphere up there, or just in the atmosphere, it's still in the sunlight up there. That's why you can see the space stations fly over, but only if it's within 20 minutes of getting dark or within an hour and a half after it gets dark. You can see the space station. Why? Because you're in darkness and the space station is still in the sun. The space station actually has no lights on the outside of it. That was midday. Okay, so that precludes any kind of launch or anything like that, more than likely. And where you were, I don't know of anything that launches from up in that area. Man, I don't know. That's it, you know. Honestly, a ballistic missile would look like that too if it was flying through the air during the broad daylight. That's what it would look like. It's expelling gas. I hope not. Yeah, it went dark probably because it reached the point where it shut off its propulsion probably. But yeah, that's an interesting one. We'll probably take a look at that again tomorrow when we have some different folks in. We probably have a bigger crowd in tomorrow night. And I'm starting to get bandwidth issues here. I don't know what's going on, so we're going to clear that. But anyway, been on a couple hours now, so I'm going to be signing off here before long. I do appreciate all you guys coming in again tonight. Again, a programming note. I did premiere a video tonight back at 8 o'clock. It's a video on Summer Field Day. If you're a ham radio operator, you might want to go back and check it out. It's a 50-minute deep dive on Summer Field Day and everything you need to know, how to do it, some tricks of the trade, what's wrong with it, why it sucks, why it's great. All my videos tell you why it sucks, why it's great. That's why I like my videos, because I get right to the point. I tell you why it sucks, and I tell you why you should do it anyway, because it's still awesome. The video shows a big fireball appearing and a few seconds later hitting. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm going to find that. We'll probably talk some more about meteors tomorrow, too. All right, last call, guys, for anything in the chat room that you want me to comment to. Like I said, I'm going to be packing up tomorrow. I will have a show tomorrow night. Right from here, we'll have a show. And then Saturday night, there will not be a show. So just to let you guys know, no show Saturday night. I'm going to be out of town. Carlotta will be doing some live stuff on her channel on Saturday. I'm probably going to record, but I'm not going to be doing any lives myself on Saturday.
Mike taking it over.
Yeah. I guess that's about it. But yeah, I'll be on tomorrow night. And I'll tell you what, Saturday, Sunday night. Sunday night's the other night. I'll be on for sure Sunday night and then all next week. So Saturday's the only night that I won't be on. And my email is ko4efs@gmail.com. I put that in here for you guys. But I'll also tell you, I respond to the chat. If you go back to this video and leave a chat message, I'll see it and I will respond to it. I'll at least click the little heart so you know I read it. And I read 100% of what I get and I respond to about 75% of what I get. So, yeah, Carlotta will have some lives on Saturday. It'll be 18 and over stuff. And it should be fun. Like I said, I don't know if I'll be doing anything Saturday live, but I really doubt it. I think I'm going to be just recording some stuff to can up for later. But Sunday evening back here, we'll be doing our thing. Sunday evening, we'll be recapping what happened over the weekend and all that kind of good stuff. All right, guys. Well, thanks for a fun night. And like I said, last call. If anybody has anything else, throw it in there. And if you guys want to keep on chatting, that would be fine. You just would need to go over to the frog cam. That chat room will keep on rolling over there. I also have the FT8 receiving up on on Starship Adventures, and I've got the 7-2 up on Starship After Dark, and we got the frogs up on Carlotta Alata. So check all that out. There you go. All right, guys. So, yeah, if you guys still want to chat, Car's over in her chat room now. You guys have a good night out there, everybody. Live from Starship Studios in Southwest Florida. My name's Ian. This is Starship Adventures, and I hope to see you down the log or on the next adventure, or maybe on tomorrow night's broadcast. Have a good one, everybody. 7-3s. We'll see you next time.